Hello. Following the publication of the updated government guidelines last week, the leadership team and I have reviewed the number of positive cases we've had since half term, and we've updated the risk assessment based on these, and we've ensured that there are new guidelines, and I'm going to talk about those now. First of all then, good news. The number of cases remains low and has remained low since half term. Therefore, we can review a number of the things that we have been used to over the last year or so. So I'm going to be talking about face coverings, ventilation, lateral flow testing and absences due to COVID. Before I announce any of the changes, what hasn't changed is how important it is that we all follow the basic guidelines there are to reduce the spread of any virus. Since the outset, we have been reminded how important it is that we wash our hands frequently and that we use the sanitisers that we've placed around school when we eat, before we eat, after we eat, when we're touching multi-use machines like the photocopiers. Make sure you're cleaning your hands. Ventilation. We will continue to ensure that the virus continues to move through the rooms by making sure that the windows and doors stay open. And that phrase, catch it, bin it, kill it, we all need to keep reminding ourselves. So catch your sneezes or coughs, bin the tissues immediately and then wash your hands. If we all follow these basic instructions, we can live with as few restrictions as possible. So, what's going to change? First of all, you are not going to be required to do the twice weekly testing using the lateral flow device tests. They're no longer required. Face coverings. They are now voluntary. From the 2nd of March, it is up to you to decide whether you want to wear a face covering. If you choose to do, however, and we need you to remove it, you will need to do so. Any face coverings need to be plain and they need to be worn correctly. You either need to be wearing it on your face or you need to put it away. You shouldn't be wearing them under your chins. Now, there are some staff who are at a particularly high risk and therefore I've carried out a current risk assessment, and those students who sit within 2 metres of those members of staff may be asked to wear a face covering, and the staff might be able to provide those for you, but hopefully you'll be able to provide those face coverings yourself, and that's to make sure that we keep them safe. Ventilation. As I said, it's important that we keep the windows and doors open. Now, the CO2 monitors that we've placed in most of our classrooms have shown just how effective opening a window and opening a door can be to reduce the amount of CO2 in that classroom. Now, I know that it has been cold, but it's getting warmer. Therefore, a slight change. All lessons will begin without you wearing your coat. If you get cold during the lesson, you can ask the permission of the member of staff to put that coat back on again. So I'll say that again. You start lessons without not wearing your coat. If you're cold, you ask to put them back on again. Now, the coat is on top of the blazer. You can wear the school jumper and then the coat goes on top of that. It does not replace the jumper and it does not replace the blazer or the school jacket. Hooded tops are not coats and you may not wear them outside of PE. You cannot wear them on top of blazers, you cannot wear them underneath blazers, and that's the same for the sixth form. You are not allowed to wear hooded tops either. Good. Now, if you start experiencing the COVID symptoms, you again need to stay off school or you'll be sent home from school, and you then need to report to the school using the COVID email that's why you're absent. You do need to carry out a lateral flow test. Now, you can buy those from reputable suppliers. However, if you're pupil premium or receive free school meals, you can collect some tests from the medical room and they'll know that they'll be able to give it to you because you'll be shown the symptoms of COVID. Now, you will stay away from school for up to 10 days. But if you no longer have symptoms and you test negative on the 5th day and on the 6th day, you can return on the 6th day. Now, I'm just going to show you a graphic that explains that a little bit more. and I'll be sending this home to anyone who says about COVID, that they've got COVID, and contact the COVID line. So on the day that you test positive or you start getting symptoms, that's day 0. From days 1 to 4, you'll need to stay at home. If on the 5th day you test negative, and then the next day you test negative, 24 hours later, then you can come back to school. If on the 5th day you test positive, but then on the 6th day you test negative, and then the day after that you test negative, then you can come back to school, but you do need to have 2 days in a row when you test negative. Now, remote learning. We will continue to provide remote learning via live streaming. Now remember, it can take up to 24 hours for staff to be informed that you're absent due to COVID. Therefore, don't expect for those live lessons to start on the day you report it. And do not email teaching staff to inform them that you're not going to be in school. We will do that for you. Do not email them directly about work either. It should be on Teams. Now, remember, live streaming is only for those who are absent due to COVID. If you're absent for any other reason, then you should contact your friends to get the work that you missed. Please do not contact your teachers directly. Now, I will continue to monitor the number of positive cases we have in school. If any of these particular factors come up, then it might be judged we're in an outbreak situation. I've created a risk assessment for that. I've put it on the website. It might be that for small groups or individuals, we need then to reintroduce some of the restrictions that we've taken away now, but we'll let you know what's happening and when. Now, because the restrictions are beginning to reduce, we can start having assemblies again, which is fantastic. So year group assemblies will resume from this week, and key stage assemblies in the main hall will start from the 21st of March. Now, I hope that these changes signal a time when we can live safely together without having to consider the COVID virus first. We've undoubtedly all been changed by the pandemic. However, I believe that we now have an opportunity to choose what we want to change about the way that we're living our lives, or what we want to keep about the changes that we've made. And I hope that we will have the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Take care.